To begin with, I just went in it blind. I didn't know what to expect. But after the first orientation, and I found out what Udyam does and how much of a change they've made, etc., that really, inspired me to take it up and pursue it.
For me, this whole journey of trying to find an internship started with it being a course requirement because it was part of my course. So I think what attracted me the biggest about this whole program was just the opportunity that it was giving me to be able to interact with students and do something meaningful over the summer rather than just waste my time or do something that I wasn't going to enjoy.
I think the first revelation was during the training process itself, because we just kept wearing different hats. Like, we first were like just interns, and we took on a facilitator's hat and a student's hat, and then we found out what the classroom dynamic will be, and then putting whatever we learned into practice. That was, some of it was correlated, some of it was entirely new.
So the first day I was really nervous. I had like 0% confidence. But once I entered into the class, the energy the class had, the kids had, and the way they spoke to me, everything was new, and that's just something I cannot forget at all.
I know that being a facilitator is different from being a teacher because there is some kind of relationship being formed, but sometimes that can get a little out of hand. I think sometimes the students take advantage of the fact that we're not like teachers coming around with like one stick behind them and stuff, and also we're a lot closer to their age. So that got a little difficult for me to handle. Sometimes I didn't know what to do in a situation, whether to reprimand them or not. It was one of my best days during facilitation. I think when we were having the individual discussions to see what was their favorite day, what was their best experience during the whole program, and one of the students said that was his favorite day, and I was just like, yes, okay, have that in common.
Here we are actually walking along with the kids, right? It's not like a proper teacher or a student thing, just come to class, teach and then go. We have to deal with a lot of other things. We had this too many one-on-one conversations with them which were unexpected, and nobody would actually open up. Most of them did, and we learned a lot of things from their life stories.
On the last day when we had the final reflections, when we were actually discussing what they learned throughout, and they were plotting their graphs and they were plotting their experiences throughout, they spoke about how they had changed as people, and how one girl told me that she was very quiet and shy and reserved before, and she had very less patience and she didn't really want to put in effort for a lot of things, but this camp kind of taught her how to be a lot more patient, how giving that little bit of time to things really paid off, and how she had opened up as a person, and how she was more confident talking to strangers now, how she was more connected to her classmates and things like that. And that really was a very big moment for me when all my girls told me how they had learned so much, because it kind of gave me a reaffirmation that I did something right all those days. And plus, they're going back with something a lot more than just the profits that they made out of their business. They're going back with genuine learnings that they would keep.
Although there were several difficult moments during this whole experience as an Udyam facilitator, and although there were several difficulties, in class, outside of class, during the business days, stuff like that, I never felt really disheartened, like, okay, I want to quit, I don't want to do this anymore. I always thought, okay, how can I improve myself, how can I do better? So I really learned about the type of work environment I want when I grow up, and I know now that I want to work in an environment such as Udyam, where the people are supportive, where they're kind, where the training is like top notch, there's good mentors, and the whole experience is really quite pleasant, because in that sort of environment, it's not easy to be discouraged. So when the people around you are great, the people you work with, and the organization you work for, if you really believe in the idea behind the organization, then the work doesn't seem like work anymore. And as cliche as it sounds, it feels like play. I didn't feel like this was really work for me, being a facilitator. It felt more like an enjoyable, playful experience almost.
I've learned so much, even from the beginning of when we were having the training program and stuff. I can see like there's a drastic change in my personality. I'm a lot more confident than I was before the program or before Udyam. And I realized that after this program that I really enjoy facilitating, and I'm thinking of it as a career option now.
I feel like it was, to me, a milestone in discovering myself. So, for example, I did not think I could be a facilitator. Even during the selection process, I was not that confident I'd get it. But you know how Udyam stands for believing human potential. They believed in our potential as students, and that they could train us and put us into this this experience. So I think this experience helped me discover myself and my potential and how much I could handle.
I think 10 years from now, I would look back as Udyam as being the catalyst for change and for really setting me on my career path, because I consider this as the start of a very long association with the field of facilitation, the social sector, with education and things like that. And this experience was that for me. So it was life-changing, and it was something that just set me on discovering who I am as a professional and as a person.
The ceremonious experience of like giving the students ID cards formed like a sort of family in class. And that's kind of what my experience as a facilitator at Udyam as an organization has been, It's been like a family to me. Not only a family like that supported me like with the facilitators, but also with our trainers like Shivani, Anshula, the rest of the crew, It's like a family with all of us. And even in class, me and my students, we were all like a family, even with my co-facilitator as well. So I thought it was like a very familial experience being in Udyam Facilitator. So yeah, that's it. See you guys later.
Yeah. Done.